Shield the tribe, and shield Noag. Those were Chieftain Narjak's last words to his cub Akrog after a ballista bolt from the tusk hunters pierced right through his chest. Fabled warrior, leader of the Moonkin trolls, last of the mythical firstborn, killed by elven poachers. It was not only Narjak's heart that Bolt impaled that day, but also that of the Moonkin tribe, weakened by the terrible blood-rot plague and decimated by the hunters. They had long been struggling for survival. With their mighty chieftain gone, the last ray of hope still shining was Noag, Akrog's younger sibling who had inherited Narjak's legendary power. The chieftain's wish for Akrog to succeed him surprised many kin, but it surprised Akrog most of all. True, he was a strong and honorable warrior, but far from the Moonkin's best. All he had was the peculiar gift to hear the voices of the dead, and an iron will to do right by his sire's last words. Was he ready for this? He could not say. Yet when the tribe demands, a troll must bow. And so Akrog found himself giving his first command as a chieftain to be. The Moonkin would travel to Mugwa's cradle, a shrine guarded by the Bonekin trolls, to perform the devouring, the sacred ritual where the new chieftain consumed the old chieftain's heart to take up his role. This story begins the day the bruised tribe arrived at the cradle, where Akrog, joined by his mentor Grunwar and his trusted one Saska, ventured out to find a holy plant for the ritual, Mugwar's tear. Little did Akrog know that the true trial of the Moonkin trolls had just begun. No matter what the trolls may think of Chieftain Akrog, trust not the foul tusks who say he had everything given to him on a moon silver platter, all because his sire was chieftain before him.
Are these the ones?
Magwa's tears, the sacred plants, blessed by the goddess herself.
Pity she always cries in hard-to-reach places. It was a rotten pain to get here.
One blue Magrog to embalm the chieftain's corpse for the devouring. Harm not the others.
All right.
And it is done. The bloom has been plucked.
Back to the cradle then. Before the big little oaf Noag goes mad with worry, thinking they tumbled off a cliff.
Akrog still thinks they should have taken Noag with them. It would have helped his dark thoughts.
Noag's gloom is the reason it would have been unwise to take him. Give him time to mourn. As the moon blood, and soon the same blood of the chieftain, he knows there will be little of that in the moons to come.
Grunwar speaks true. Let them march back. They have lost too much time already.
Wait, before they leave, Grunwar has an unusual wish. He would like to pluck a bloom for himself.
What for? The devouring?
No, it is The Moonkin have been running for so long, Chieftain. Grungwa dreams that one day they will find a true home somewhere. A tribe camp to last, so to speak.
Fine. Grungwa can pick it.
Grungwa thanks the Chieftain. He...
There, old fur. His precious little bloom.
Zaska should not have done that. The blooms are sacred.
Well, Zaska just did, and he still stands here, looking as good as ever. Now, how about they leave this place?
Fine. Back to the cradle, then.
What can he do for the tribe? He is on his way.
That man's plan from the start.
What?
His trusted one, all right.
He is. Akrog is ready, and it is open. Strange.
Maybe Zaramak could learn a thing or two from these ruins.
Brittle bone craftsmanship never brings anything good.
It is like the other one, but the stick is missing. Let them look around then. Maybe
This works not.
somehow. Let Zaska get a proper look.
Let Grungwa take a closer look.
That should work.
He is going.
Head towards certain doom. Sure, why not? Interesting. Probably.
Time to...
Easy.
Going now. Moving on.
Grungwa is ready. This looks interesting.
Bugs, careful.
The blood for the tribe! Brothers to smash!
They will regret this.
Let him at them!
Dead. What on Urgath? The Moonkin cannot go through here.
True. But there is a hex stone. If they can kindle the...
There they are. Trusted one, Nurbok One Eye. What is he doing here?
Looking for them. The fat Moonkin chieftain was getting worried.
The tears were harder to find than they thought.
Cub Akrog, Nurbok will tell him one more time. The Moonkin should break off the devouring and move on. If they stay in this clearing for too long, the hunters will come for them.
Nurbok, they talked about this. The chieftain must be devoured, so Magwa can pass on his power to the chosen chieftain. Narjok would want...
What Narjok would want is for the tribe to survive. But Nurbok has said his piece. It is clear the tribe would rather listen to a fresh tusk cobbling who hears voices in the wind.
Sire Narjak was the last firstborn of the trolls, and the greatest chieftain there ever was. He deserves to leave this world with honor.
Zaska could not agree more. If everyone got what they deserved, every worker would have their own iron beak. Make no mistake. Nurbok treasured Narjak like he treasures Grungwa. But Narjak was a great chieftain because he put others first. Surely Akrog knows that, after what his sire did for Nurbok and Akrog both.
Akrog knows, Nurbok. But what honor have the trolls left if they let these rotten brittle bones crush even their most sacred traditions? Now, can Nurbok kindle the hex stone?
can. Oh, and Zaska Small Tusk? What? Nurbok knows the Small Tusk has been scheming. He will keep an eye on him. Then how will he see where he is going?
What was Nurbok talking about? About Zaska scheming?
Scheming makes it sound very bad. He will tell Trusted One Akrog after the devouring.
Kin should not have secrets from each other, Zaska.
And Grungwar would know all about that, no? Ready for action.
Let Grungwar take a closer
What is Agrog waiting for? They need to bring the tears to the Moonkin.
Akrog will leave now. Will Nurbok join the devouring?
He will. But there is something else he has to look into first.
Sharp tusks and thick hide, then.
This looks interesting. You will protect the tribe.
They messed with the wrong tribe.
Magwan, help her son.
Jungle always makes Akrog's hide crawl.
The blood drop in the cradle. It is full of Magwa's power, making life...
By the holy hide, if it is not chosen Chieftain Akrog Bone Crusher. Cabrax was about to ask the bones if something happened to them.
Chieftain Cabrax, Magwa prays. It is true, finding the tears was harder than they thought. The Brittlebone ruin was swarming with bugs.
Good for the tears, bad for the many Brittlebone treasure hunters who searched them. Ha! Come, show him. Ah, good. Very good. Mugwa will be pleased. Now all they need is a tooth.
A sacred pierce stick. The Bonekin have none of their own.
Oh, of course they do. But the Moonkin will need to shape their own for their sacrifice.
How can they shape a tooth? Grungwar said it. It is a sacred weapon.
Just like how the Moonkin shape their other weapons. All Akrog must do is find a hexed Brittlebone weapon, scrap it, then have the Moonkin Master Scrapper use the parts to shape the tooth.
Where can they find a hexed Brittlebone weapon, though?
Oh, there are many places in this jungle. But Cabrax believes he heard the Moonkin's Master Scrapper, Zaramok, speak of a Brittlebone hideout up north.
His name is Zeramak. But good, Akrog will speak to him. Oh, and Chieftain Cabrax. Akrog is not Chieftain yet, but he still thanks Cabrax in the name of the tribe. He knows many Bonekin wanted not the Moonkin so close to their shrine, with the hunters and the blood-rot. Cabrax took a risk helping them, and Akrog will not forget it.
Look at that! The cub has his sire's silver tongue.
No, Akrog means it. Only the Bonekin can do the devouring. If not for Cabrax, Narjak would never find his way into the moonlit river, and Akrog could never be blessed with Narjak's strength.
True, true. But Narjak was not only a great chieftain, but also the last firstborn troll. To give him his last rites is a great honor. And as for the fool tusks afraid of catching the blood rot, what they need most is a fat fist to the face. They should know the rot cannot be passed from one troll to another, and be glad the Bonekin were mostly spared. Now off with Akrog. That tooth will not shape itself.
So be it. Sharp tusks and thick hide, Chieftain Cabrax.
At his service.
All right. To the tribe camp.
They should look for Noag, too. Let them hope he has done nothing silly.
They will. Moving now.
Let Zaska get a proper look.
Ah, Chieftain back! Good, good. What he need?
The Moonkin need to craft a tooth. Can Zeramak help with that?
Tooth? For eating?
No. The holy weapon for the devouring. They have the pointy end, they just need a brittle bone pierce stick with hex power. Cabrax said the scrappers found a brittle bone hideout up north.
Ah, the cave, true. It locked, but the scrappers find shiny metal to open it. Here, how it called? A key. The scrappers went in already. Not yet, because there are Erics and other creatures. But Chieftain and Grungmore strong. They can squish them. Maybe they take little Moonblood too? He's so strong.
Maybe. Speaking of Little Blood, has Zeramak seen him?
Bit ago he have, but not now. Maybe he sleep in shelter?
Akrog will look. Either way, they will be back with the brittle bone pierce stick. Zeramak should stay ready.
He will. Oh, and Slig? Best ask now.
The Chosen Chieftain might be able to help Slig, if he has time. Just come and talk to him when he can.
Akrog needs Zeramak to shape something. To crush things.
What he need?
Scrapper Slig Stoutheart. He wanted to speak with Akrog?
It is true, Chosen Chieftain. Slig knows this is a strange time to be asking him for a favor, but Chosen Chieftain Akrog has always been happy to help the Scrappers before.
He has, it is true. And what sort of help is needed this time?
Oh, the usual. Slig needs to bring back as much scrap as he can, so that he and the Master Scrapper can keep up with the need for weapons, armor, and all that stuff.
He needs Akrog to carry scrap?
No. Just shield Slig while he finds what they need. He gets so carried away with sorting that he would not even hear Mugwa's cub if it came sneaking up behind him. There is a crumbling brittlebone place southeast of here, where Slig might find some lovely scrap. Chosen Chieftain knows where Slig means.
He knows. He was there not so long ago, looking for Mugwa's tears.
Perfect. So, has the Chosen Chieftain time to help Slig, just like in the good old days?
He has not really the time, but he cannot say no to Slig. What is his plan?
Mugwar prays. The Chosen Chieftain is so kind. Slig will meet Chosen Chieftain Akrog outside the Brittlebone ruins. It will not take Slig long to find out what he needs. Hopefully.
All right. Zeramak said the cave is to the north. And let them keep an eye out for Little Blood.
Trusted one gets used. What on Urgath is this?
What should he do?
Chosen Chieftain, over here!
Slig, there he is.
This looks
It was good of Chosen Chieftain Akrog to come. Is he ready to shield Slig?
He's ready.
Oh, wonderful! Let them see how much lovely scrap is waiting for them in there.
What is that?
Mugwar's tusks! Look at this place! Slig's not sure where to start!
Slig should keep his voice down. He was right not to come here alone. Akrog is sure there are enemies around every corner. He will lead the way. That way.
He is going. What can he do for the
On his
tribe?
way. Akrog is listening.
If he insists.
Keep those Erics away from Slig.
Worry not. Akrog will crush them. Just get that scrap.
He will. This makes a nice change from all the thinking Slig has been doing lately.
What thinks he about?
Slig will tell him if he promises to keep crushing those Araks. Well, Slig likes to think about the trolls he knows. And the ones he has known.
Has Slig lost someone close to him too?
It is true. But not as recently as the chosen chieftain, of course. Slig likes to remember his old friend Zanuck.
Zanuck? Akrog knows not that name.
They had been friends since they were cubs. Slig will never forget the day when Zanuck asked him to be his trusted one.
What happened to him?
The blood rot took him. He got hurt out in the swamps, and it seemed like he was getting better. But then, the rot took over and he was gone. Slig was with him when he died. He hoped Zanuck knew he was there.
Together, to the very end. That is the promise trusted ones make. Akrog is sorry Slig lost him, and in such a way.
Chosen Chieftain speaks true. Anyway, there is no... Slig thinks this might be the last of it. Rotten Araks again!
Akrog will take care of them. Is he nearly done?
Slig is a fast worker, Chosen Chieftain. They can head back in a flash. Unless he is not in a hurry to return.
Well, there is just so much to take care of. He would like to help Slig for longer, but...
The duty calls. Slig understands. It cannot be like the old times anymore. Not once he is Chieftain. The Chieftain can still have fun, though. He should not forget.
He will try not to. At least Little Blood is good at reminding Akrog to be less serious.
That is good. Noag Moonblood makes them all smile. He is such a sweet troll behind that thick hide and those strong arms. The tribe is lucky to have a troll like him who can bring joy and hope. It is true. Noag Moonblood always makes Slig's day brighter.
Is listening. Moving now. What should he do?
Zazka is listening.
Now Slig really cannot carry anymore. He will run back to Zaramak, so they can use this scrap straight away.
That was actually quite fast work. Akrog is glad he found what he needed.
It would have been a lot slower if Slig needed to fight those Araks first. Slig thanks the Chosen Chieftain for keeping him safe.
It was no trouble. Well, only a little trouble.
A little trouble. Sounds like Slig. Come back and find Slig when Chosen Chieftain gets back to the tribe. He has an offer for him.
He will.
Let Zazka get a proper look.
Let Akrog see.
Can Zazka help?
Grungwa is here. In that direction?
That way.
Interesting.
Akrog is glad to see Slig made it back safely with such a burden. Was Master Scrapper Zaramak pleased with him?
Very much. He and Slig are grateful to the Chosen Chieftain.
They are welcome. Maybe it helped Akrog a little to help Slig.
Look, once the burial is done and he is used to being Chieftain, he should let Slig cook a meal for him. Slig owes him something tasty for giving up his time on such a day. He can bring Noag Moonblood too. They will toast to a brighter future.
Akrog would like that. Remind him again after the devouring.
It is a deal. Sharp tusks and thick hide, Chosen Chieftain.
Sharp tusks and thick hide, Slig.
Zazka is listening.
No Little Blood. Strange.
Hopefully he did nothing foolish.
Old fur worries too much. Noag can take care of himself.
Maybe, but he is still the Moonblood, and they must not lose him. They should ask Crumb. Maybe he knows something.
Feel the might of the Moonkin!
That way. On his way.
Going now.
Should be Nerbok. Akrok too young. Also, Kutuk know why they call him Bone Crusher. Cause all he can do is crush things. Take more to be Chieftain.
He has gift of spirits.